There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and stays till the morning comes.
Well, howdy, folks. We're back here again at Alley's tonight.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Again, that is our home away from home.
It's kind of becoming my home.
Well, yeah. Well, when you live like 30 steps down from it, you might as well quit paying rent at your other place.
That's a good idea. I'll talk to Jack, see if I can just paying a little rent here. And
I'm sure there's some random room in the back here.
Sell my house and
the private bowling studio, like in the back.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's like a studio apartment size. I
Yeah.
think we could all share that if we needed to on a night. Well, maybe you and me, Brent. I'm not sure about Cowboy being in there with us after a night of drinking, but
Well, we'll see how the night goes. But we actually have some really, really fun guests on tonight. All right, you can leave. I don't care. That just means more for me.
I feel like you guys always say that.
We do. It's really weird.
Yeah.
No.
No, it is.
so that sexy voice you just heard would be Mr. Jeremy Nicely of Evil Czech.
Hello.
We also have Brendan. Who else we got?
We have Miss Holly Joy Coyle of New Holland.
Coyle.
Howdy,
Coyle,
ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
And who else?
We have back with us Mr. Ron Smith,
I couldn't believe
the
he's
grandfather
yeah.
of beer of Indiana.
couldn't believe
Hello,
he stuck
good to
around.
be back. Stuck around.
Yeah, no, he came on one show. He came back for a second show.
I know.
I'm impressed.
We really thought we'd just scare him off the first one.
Must be
so-
doing something right.
I have to start this with saying we were waiting to start the show. Like, what the hell's going on? Where's everybody? I seen Jordan up at the bar. I'm like, what the hell's he doing? So I go to the bar.
beer.
What do you do? He's like, I'm getting a beer. He's like, Evil Czech and New Holland. Get your ass to the table.
Well, you need a nice in-between beer.
Yeah.
I've been drinking Bean Counter, and it's delicious by Taxman. I got to give them some love on that.
Gotta love those guys.
But now
actually.
they're here, so I don't need them anymore.
Which is really funny because actually we had Dan here earlier from Redemption and Jeremy and everybody else. You look around and you're like, what's going on? Oh, wait a minute. Even Holly has Bean Counter. Everybody has Bean Counter.
Don't say that.
It's a good beer.
No, it
It
is
is.
so
It
good.
is
Yeah.
good.
Holly,
Nice
I hate to
coffee.
tempt you
Love
that,
it.
but there's a video now and pictures, so
Okay, that's all right. It's okay. It's good.
everybody's got. Yeah, that is funny that everybody's got some
Gotta
Taxman
support.
tonight.
This is
Good
the
stuff.
first beer I ever had from Taxman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I delivered a keg down there and had lunch and had it on draft, and it's like, it's
They're one of my
fantastic.
favorites in town. I think they make
Yeah.
damn good beer.
And they actually still carry your guys' stuff quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're getting ready to do. Well, they're taking up more of their guest handles.
Yeah.
So they won't have as many guest taps going through the holiday season
Nice.
because of all the releases they have. But yeah,
Well, and actually they're getting ready to open the new location up in Fortville.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys
exciting.
got to branch out that way too, don't
of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So enough about Taxman.
you? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have some really fun stuff getting ready to come on, so stay tuned.
So we have a beer sample in front of us. Let's talk about it first. What did we pour first before I taste it?
This is Plato 14. This is our black lager in a plastic glass, so you can tell the head retention is lovely. You know, it really, really stays. It's great. Yeah.
So you're excited about the
The
plastic
aroma.
glass, huh?
Yeah. No, it's no big deal. No, it's fine.
As Dan from Redemption would say, it's not very fluffed. The head is not fluffed.
It's not fluffy at all.
You got to love
It's
Dan.
okay though.
He was, he's Indiana's next hot model.
Yeah.
He
won-
is a hot model.
I think
Yeah,
that was
he-
rigged. I'm
He won last year, and we were podcasting from there, and it was a phenomenal show. It was so much fun to do stuff with them. And now Dan and I, we've all become, all of us have become really good friends with them. So we're up at Redemption quite a bit too. Unfortunately, you guys aren't as local as they are, so I have to go what's local. And they have really good wings, so I
Yeah.
end up there a lot at
Oh, yeah.
Redemption.
We
Well,
love them.
Jerry and I were just talking before the show because obviously, Redemption or Evil Czech is up in Mishawaka and he lives up there. But my brother said, I see fucking Jeremy less than you do, and you live down in Indianapolis. But I see Jeremy all the time, so it's great. But
I'm
I'd
down
rather
here
you
a lot.
down here because you bring beer. Well, it's funny. We were kind of talking about the black IPA on the last show with Ron because of how odd it is to have a black IPA. because it's
a black pale.
a black pale. It just doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't seem right. But it works, and they're good beers. But they don't seem right in your head to think of a black pale.
It's a crazy beer. It really starts out. I get almost like a real sharp chocolate taste at front, and then it kind of goes into a fruity note, and I can't put my foot on it right there. But at the end, it kind of finishes off raisin. I don't know if.
Oh, that's good.
I get a raisiny finish on that as well.
Yep.
Ron, I'm curious. What do you think, sir?
You just brewed one, right?
I did just
Homebrew.
brew one.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
I was stalking you on Facebook. It's like, who is this Ron Smith guy that's going to be there too? So, yeah.
He's a good guy to know.
Yeah, I did. I just made one. It was part of my IPY class project, so I'm experimenting with it. I'm doing. I split the batch, homebrew batch, 10 gallons, 11 gallons. I split it up. I'm doing half as a traditional lager, the way Schwarzbier should be made, and they're doing the other half as an ale. So just because I try to do something, you know, when I split the batches up, just to show the students what happens if you change one variable. So yeah, kind of looking forward to that. In all these years, I love Schwarzbiers, and never actually made one. So this is it's good. It's good. It's got a nice clean kind of lager character to it. It's got sort of a hopped up version. I'm getting a lot of hop flavor, not necessarily in the aroma, but getting a lot of hop flavor, kind of mid palate on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm almost getting a pear in the middle. That's what I was drawing a blank on for a minute, but I'm almost getting this pear flavor in the middle.
A pair of what? Oh. Yeah,
So-
it's all Saaz hops.
mhm.
3 editions of Saaz. You know, it's Pilsner malt, Munich. That's it.
Is it real fresh?
Oh, it's very fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that hop flavor will probably tone down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Over
it will.
time.
Yeah.
And it's really good right now compared to classic examples like Kostritzer and things like that. They really don't have much hop flavor.
No, well, and those they traveled a long way to get here too.
Yeah, well, I've had
Yeah.
them fresh there.
Yeah.
They're still pretty clean.
Oh yeah.
Beers with not a lot of hop flavor, but that's a classic example. You know, not everything has to be a classic example. It's not very nice beer. I drink a lot of it.
But it's an underrated style. Like, I mean, I was talking with another brewer yesterday. It's like, you know, the black lager. That's something maybe 5 to 7% of the craft beer drinker actually looks at. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get that. You know, but it's something that's for the home base brew pub. Like, it's not something you really want to send out because it's going to be a dead line. I mean, people don't want to buy it. So, but it's a good style. It's a lot like Bigsby. Like last time we were on talking about that idea of looking at a beer and thinking, oh, it's going to taste like this.
Right.
Well, you look at this and you're like, oh, it's going to taste like this, and then you drink it.
You're at the other extreme where Bigsby,
That's
Right.
exactly what I was going to say. Is
You
that
do get like that cherry pit. You get that raisin, you know, but you get that clean lager finish, and you get that hop, that spicy hop profile in the middle. But other than that, you know, when you look at it,
So you guys,
did-
basically, Evil Czech just likes to fuck with people. Because this is a lager that you turn
our
black,
head brewer is Irish.
and you take a stout and you turn it white. You guys just like to mess with people's heads. You know, we're out here trying to get these people into craft beer, and we have Evil Czech beers. We can't really tell them what to drink. Because we're like, well, don't go by the color there, because you're not going to find what you're looking for.
When I'm talking to people about styles, when I'm training people, BJCP folks and stuff like that on beer styles, the 2 words in the simple description of a Schwarzbier is a black Pilsner. That's
Okay.
the simple way to think of a Schwarzbier, a classic German style Schwarzbier.
Right.
Okay, but in truth, and I've traveled all over Germany, there's not many Schwarzbiers there. Kostritzer, the one we get here, is one of the only few. Monshoff also makes one. You find a few of them up around Franconia in middle Germany, but there's not really a lot of Schwarzbiers in Germany. But in the broader black lager category, there's a ton of them in the Czech Republic. There's more breweries in the Czech Republic per capita than there is in any country on earth.
Oh, really?
There is.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's not that big of a country, but a ton of breweries, and it's the dark lager to a Czech to a small Czech brewery is kind of like the IPA or American Pale Ale of an American brewery. Every single one of them makes one. Every single one of them. So I've had tons of dark lagers in the Czech Republic, and that's really where the style is all over the place. And they're not necessarily like the Schwartz beer. Some are sweet, some are bitter, some have more hop character like this one does. They're all over the board. It's kind of a great big wide dark lager category. They're wonderful too.
So what's the difference between a dark lager and a traditional lager?
Specialty malt.
That's it.
Yeah, it's different malt.
Yeah,
You know,
what
it's
made
like
it dark?
yeah.
So it's still the same time, painstaking process doing a black lager.
Oh
and a-
yeah, we lagered this in our lagering tank. You know, we
Mhm.
have a 50 barrel lagering tank in it. It sat there, and we added. You know, we dry hopped it with sauce after the 2 additions within the boil. But it's really what makes it dark. That color, it imparts more flavor to it. Is that specialty malt? You
And
know, that-
lagers, you
that
had to
Munich
ferment
malt.
colder, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Cold,
Yep, because
cold
of the
and
yeast.
long.
Yep.
Cold
Yep.
and long.
I liked it. I thought it was delicious.
Yeah, it's a killer
Again,
beer.
it's another successful beer for me for Evil Czech.
Well, I brought a growler, but I think we should move on to other beers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
No, I'm good. Now, what about New Holland? You guys, I don't think either one of you guys, Eagle Czech or do you guys have any traditional lagers? New Holland does.
Not-
I thought you guys don't.
Well,
now I'm thinking I could have swore swallowed
No.
on. Okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
But stay tuned.
It just seems like lagers are starting to get a little bit
Yes.
more.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We have a
They're
new.
starting to come
about
around a little
Yeah,
bit.
they are.
I'm hoping. I
we
love
have a new
lagers, so-
year-round beer coming out that's going to be very traditional, very very light, easy drinking. So, couple months,
Couple months.
I'll be
All right.
back.
All right.
And I,
Sounds
I
good.
don't. I don't
Yeah.
think everybody can do that. Obviously, it's got to be somebody that's been around for a while, like New Holland and Evil Czech. That's got brewers that have been doing this for a while
Yeah.
to do a lager. I mean, because it is a. I mean, everybody says it.
It's a completely different beast
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and specialty equipment.
Well,
Or just really cool time of year. One of the two.
Just more time.
Yeah.
More than anything, more
Yeah,
time.
more time. Yeah.
that was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And a lot of the small
And
craft
time
breweries-
time is money, you know.
Yeah.
In a small brewery.
Yeah.
It's not something
So-
a new brewery can take on when they're
Yeah.
trying to get pump stuff
Ta-
out. and-
taking up space, you know, for 8 weeks for a lager, when you're turning ales in 2, roughly, that's
Yep.
a lot of extra tank time, and that's money.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
it's hard to do that.
So, Brendan, we have our General George Patton.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's
our,
right.
That's
yeah.
our
Yep.
Pilsner, Bohemian Lager. Yeah.
which is also excellent, by the way. I haven't found anything yet from Evil Czech that I haven't liked. So, what are we going to sample next?
You guys want
Holly,
to try
maybe
some
we should-
cabin fever?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is the Pope religious?
Are we just using the same glass?
Kinda.
Yeah, I guess that'll work. That's a little sacrilegious, probably, but you know.
So we have cabin fever. This is our seasonal that just came out. So this just came out. It's our brown ale. Really nice, 6.5%. So it's I'd say it has sort of porter-like characteristics. It's very, very roasty and malty, chocolate and crystal malt, and it does have a little bit of rye in there, so you get a little bit of spice. And this is really nice, really great for when it gets cold out and Christmas time. It's really, really nice. I love it. It's one of my faves.
Yeah, I did just taste it.
Wow.
It does have a Christmas taste to it.
Yeah.
It has that literally like the quintessential Christmas taste to
Yeah,
it.
just a little bit of spice. But we aptly name it Cabin Fever, though, so people will buy it after Christmas time.
Yeah.
Ta-
Buy this
ta-
year
tastes
round.
tastes like a very classic, really wonderful American brown ale.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a lot sweeter than what I was anticipating.
It's a little sweet, yeah.
But
Now-
I like it. I actually love it.
It's
Now,
not
is
real
this-
sweet. I mean, it's nice because it's not overly. It's bad. It's not kicking you with candy.
No,
Like a
it's
lot
not.
Of, to me,
it's
a lot
not
of browns
candy.
are.
Right.
See, I disagree. I get a lot of sugar off
Really?
this. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like I get a lot of it.
It's not
But I
super
like it.
sweet.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, the
Again.
first beer we had here, Jeremy, is it commercially available in liquor stores or anything, or do we have
No.
to come to the brewery to get this one?
Come to the brewery, and then there are some on-premise locations that will carry it. But I really don't push it. You know, if someone is looking
Okay.
for something that is different, that they have a hole that they want to fill as far as style wise, I will make it available to them. But yeah.
Okay, and Holly, how about Cabin Fever?
Yes, Cabin Fever is available as a seasonal. It's available at all your liquor stores that carry craft beer, Meijer, Kroger,
Okay.
Fresh Time, Whole Foods, any of those. So
I'll be buying up as much as I see.
Yeah, runs around $10-11 a 6-pack, so it's a really good price.
We've talked about this before. Kroger kind of has impressed me lately. Kroger is starting to get a pretty good craft beer selection for being a major grocery
They
store.
have, yeah.
They do, yeah.
They're one of our top accounts for Indiana.
You go in there and you can buy single bottles
Meyer's
too.
the biggest.
I was going to say they have to be because
Meyer's the biggest.
see New Holland at Meijer
Oh yeah.
all the time.
Yep.
Michigan
well,
company.
Meyer's a Michigan company, and
Oh,
we
I
have
didn't know that. Oh,
one of our most veteran employees is a neighbor of one of the owners of Meijer, so we have a very good relationship.
That makes
with
a
them.
lot of sense then, yeah.
and,
It's one of the few places down
Please
here I
carry
can
beer.
find Red Wing gear. Go to
Yeah,
Myers.
there you go. Michigan.
Well, I won't hold that against you.
But like I said, but Kroger, I can go in. They have all these single bottles now, which I think is phenomenal because then I can
Yeah.
just buy a single bottle
Yep.
and try it. And if it's horrible, I can be like, oop, nope, never again. Or I can be like, yep, there's the one. Now I'll go buy a 6-pack.
But actually,
I love that.
Meyer's doing the same thing now.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But
So
it's
does Marsh,
warm.
but they never have the
It's
damn
warm.
holders out there.
Huh?
They never have the Marsh. You go in the Marsh and never have the holders out.
The
They have a
holder.
thing for it, but the 6-pack holders are always,
Oh,
it's always
right,
empty.
Oh, yeah.
Bastards.
Man, that is a killer beer. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Glad you like it.
I taste
It just came out, so it's very,
See, to
very
me,
fresh.
A lot of the browns are either almost. I don't. What turns me off about a brown typically is a lot of the real nuttiness or the sweetness, and this has neither of that. It's kind of well balanced. Where it's not too sweet and it's
Yeah.
not too nutty. I like
It's
it.
a well balanced
Yeah.
beer.
Now I don't mind the nuttiness in a beer. I actually like that. The sweetness kills me. I'm not a sweet person, so I don't do candy. I don't do sweets. So if it's too
He's
sweet,
not a sweet person.
He's
No,
not.
he's
oh,
not.
I'm not at all.
It's bitter.
He's already sweet enough.
He's a
More
bitter.
bitter.
He's a
Aw.
bitter person.
But it's really weird because I got a ton of candied like pecans out of that. I mean, and that's all I taste out of that, and I
That's-
love it. I think it's fantastic.
Crystal provides a caramel, and then there's the nuttiness. So
I mean,
right
don't-
there you go. You got
I mean, it makes
pecans.
sense, but I mean, nobody else is.
Well,
But
it's
I,
a
I
medium,
get,
but
I
everybody's
get it.
palate's different.
I get a ton out of that.
Don't get
Candied
me
pecans.
wrong,
I mean,
it-
that's what I taste.
It has some sweetness to it, but I'm just saying it's not that candied like fake sweet to it. It's got the right amount of
Yeah.
sweet to it,
Oh no, it's
which
not.
is the difference
It's
there.
not that. Yeah, that processed sugared.
Right,
nastiness.
exactly,
No,
like-
and that's not what I'm getting out of it. But I'm getting grandma's candied pecans out of this, and I love it. I think it's a fantastic beer.
Good.
It does taste like Christmas in a glass to me.
That's
I like
always
it.
interesting though, is how much your palate, everybody's palate is a little bit different, and the
Yeah.
same beer can taste a little bit different to everybody at the table. And it's which is fantastic about beer. And I don't think beer provides that more than other things. Like I said, I love Scotch, I love whiskey and bourbons, but I still think there's more complexity in beer, or at least available in beer, that you can do with it that you can't do, or I haven't seen in these other distilled in the spirits that you can do with beer. It just seems like the flavors
big
are endless.
palate.
Yeah.
It's a big palate.
Wait, and I think it really boils down to like the human conception of like your flavor profile and how you develop it. Like, give me 12 ounces. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to figure out what I'm tasting. Give me an ounce and a half. Not so much. You know?
No.
Give me 5 ounces of wine. Not so much. You know. So
Give me that bottle.
That just speaks to beer.
So, I mean, let's take a break from actually trying the beer, but what do you guys got coming up? I mean, you guys clearly have a lot coming up, but anything you guys want to talk about?
Gotta have some
Yeah.
seasonal events coming up, right?
I have an event at Tappers in Fountain Square.
Yeah. Fun little place.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
It's a little barcade. That's what we call it.
Yeah,
Arcade where you can drink.
It's awesome.
What's better than that?
Yeah. I mean, it's really,
Yeah.
it's a
So,
neat place.
Yeah. I have an event there on Thursday, and we are releasing a brand new beer, which is really exciting. It's called Hoptronics, and it is a 9% Mosaic Hop Double IPA.
Wow.
It's gotten a lot of hype on the internet, and
Yeah?
a lot of people are really excited about it. We did some test batches that everyone loved.
But
and
you're releasing it there.
we are releasing it there
And actually,
on Thursday.
Actually, a friend of the show, Riley, he actually shared it with me, and I didn't know you guys were releasing it there.
Yes. That's right.
There he is. He's hiding behind Jeremy.
Yeah, so we're releasing that on Thursday, and
Nice.
it's going to be a really big party, and
Well, I
Yeah.
think we may have to
So
try to get
anybody
our way
wants to
down
join?
there.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Mosaic is such a nice hop.
It is, yes,
you
and
know.
it's a trendy
People-
hop right
it
now.
is, but
and-
The
so
new
many,
Citra.
but so many people love it. You know,
Yes.
it's just
I
a
hope it's
well.
not.
Yes.
I hope it's not a trendy hop, though. I mean,
Well,
I actually
yeah.
hope it's one of those
It's-
ones
It's
that.
very fruity, and I'm not the biggest double IPA fan out there, and I was lucky enough to get to try it right out of the fermenter
Yeah.
when I was up at the brewery the last time, and I poured it out, and I was like, what is this new like pineapple fruit beer
Yeah.
that we're making? I don't know what this is, and
But
they're
I
like,
like
oh, this
it.
is our double IPA. There's actually no fruit in it. It's just Mosaic hops, and so I'm really excited to try it. It'll be my first time trying the finished product. And
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really
I've heard
excited.
they've become kind of hard to get Mosaic hops. Is that
Yes.
Yeah,
true?
I think so.
And the price has
yeah.
gone up on them too.
We luckily have a contract.
Yeah.
This Hoptronics is going to be a year-round beer.
Oh.
So
Oh,
we-
nice. Awesome.
We have a contract, and we're going to make as much as we possibly can.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And you're releasing it here in Indiana.
We're
first.
releasing it
That's pretty
on
wild.
Thursday. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's very wild.
I know.
Everybody get
I'm
out to Tappers
Tappers.
there.
Tappers, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll have to share a lot of that here real soon.
Yes.
Yeah, Tappers is cool. It's free video games, right? I know
Mhm.
it's no. Yeah, it's a very cool place.
Oh, you don't pay for the games there? either?
No.
No, you just pay for your beer.
Except for the pinball. You pay for the pinball.
I'm
but
only
it's still
good
like
at
50
pinball.
cents.
Sad because I'm only good at pinballs.
Anything more than that, I agree. I don't like it.
So what else do you have coming up, Holly? Anything?
I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I have a festival in LaPorte on Saturday.
wow.
LaPorte Brew
Yeah.
Fest, yes.
I didn't know that
So-
was so late in the season.
Yeah, it's one of our
Yeah.
very last festivals of the
That's
season,
awesome.
so
Thank
I'm
God.
excited about that. Jeremy and Evil Czech will be there as well.
I'm sure you both are ready for the season to die down a
yeah,
little bit.
this one's nice because it's not too crazy. So excited about that. And then we have another event, another Hoptronics event at another barcade in Griffith, Indiana, which is in the region. It's called Twincade. So we'll be releasing Hoptronics there as well.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, we're coming to the end of a really busy season, and we're gonna kind of take it easy around the holidays and then start back up
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
This festival season though is starting to get longer and longer though. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it really
seems like
does.
it,
It
yeah.
really does. It's crazy. When I first started in this business, it was just a few, and in the summertime, and now it's it starts.
There's so many of
there's
them
so many,
that
and
the season had to grow, so they start
Yes.
they start sooner
they
and,
really
Yeah.
do.
and
Sorry.
later.
It's like a hockey season.
Did you say too many or so many?
So many.
Oh,
So
okay,
many.
yeah. I thought you said too many. Yeah,
From a brewer's
Completely agree.
perspective, there may indeed be too many.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot.
What do you think of that?
I think there's too many.
Too many. Yeah.
Well, it's
Oh, we
hard,
were thinking
man.
about having our own, so
You should.
You should.
Everyone's doing it. Yeah.
what about you guys? What you guys got anything coming up here soon? or what?
Other than Lepore, I had some events slated for November, but I canceled them because it's just, need a break.
Yeah,
You know?
right on.
All the traveling and we're trying to, kind of look at our, we got a sour program going on right now,
Mhm.
and we've purchased a new facility, a new warehouse, and a lot of barrels, and so we're doing some experimentation with various bourbon and rum and wine barrels. So just going to take a little break for a little while, and then in December 7th, doing a new account, Nippers and Carmel.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, gonna have a tap takeover there.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, be a
He's
good
giving
time.
a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Sam's a regular there, so.
Oh, are you really? Yeah. Nice. So that's the 7th of December. Yeah, and then got something in January and February and March, and just trying to, because we
Ramp up the season.
Well, I mean, you got to realize like we've just been getting established here in Indy like over the course of this year. So building the relationships and also taking care of the Indiana Beverage and 5-star territory up north, like is required of me being the only person in the sales force for Evil Czech. You know,
I was actually wondering when both of you are moving down this way.
Actually, January I think is 18th is when I close. Yeah, so I'll be no.
I was actually getting really excited. I was like, Jeremy's going to be here. We'll get him on the show more often.
What's the best way to make it through a long work week? Take a midweek break and join the fun every Wednesday night at Allie's Alehouse in Fishers for Nico's Open Stage. Want to share your talent in front of a live audience? Whether it's breaking in some new material or jamming out to some favorites, Nico's Open Stage is the place to go for it. There's never a cover charge, and walk-ins are always welcome. Each week brings a featured artist and drink specials from Jack Daniels. Check out Nico's Open Stage on Facebook for more details. And come join the fun every Wednesday night at Allie's Alehouse, home of the boys of Blind Pig Confessions.
I'm Busey. This is Chili from Dos Ringos. You're listening to Blind Pig Confession.
Woo! All right, while we break open the next beer we're going to try, let me ask you guys this, because you guys have been doing, obviously, with all the festivals going on, and you guys have hit probably half of them, if even that. You can't hit all of them anymore, but have you guys seen any new styles or any kind of wild beers out there that you haven't seen before? And it seems like people are always coming up with crazy shit. Nothing?
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like there's always crazy beers coming out every year that you haven't seen before.
The kettle sours have really, I mean, they've been big the last couple years, but I think this past summer it seemed like they were
kind of the big
everywhere.
thing.
Yeah, more and more breweries are starting to do them. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just like Jeremy's face. Well, it said it all. Fuck no.
when it comes to these festivals, I'll tell you guys this. Even as just a podcast, we got invited to a lot more festivals than even we could attend this year.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, guys, we're a podcast. We can't go set up, do a show, pack up, go. We can't do it. You know, so we kind of had to pick and choose the ones we went to even this year, and we did very, very, very small scale this year. So I can't imagine what you guys go through.
Oh hell, our liver couldn't take it this year.
Yeah, I know some of those. Noblesville Brewfest was that was 250 beer samples, and obviously I didn't taste all of them, but that's how many were available. It was insane. I'm like, who tastes 250 beers in one day? I can't do it.
You guys should get a booth at GABF next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to.
Seriously, like you should contact the Brewers Association.
We're going to.
And go out there and like, you know, because like Homebrewers Network was there. I mean, there were a lot of various, like you guys could have a side where you just sit there and you just talk about the people walking around. They got an ounce.
They must not like them.
Right.
Or they're already drunk, so they only got a half an ounce.
Everybody got an ounce.
Yes. Jeremy and I were both lucky enough to get to go to GABF this year.
Nice.
Was that your guys' first trip out there?
It was, yes, it was both of our first times,
Nice.
and it was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was an experience.
I bet.
So it was,
really good beer, really good chocolate.
Yeah.
Really good, like,
really good chocolate.
that-
That was the second thing he said. Really good chocolate.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's like going up to the
Beautiful
Upper Peninsula
mountains.
and saying, "Oh, they got really good taffy."
Well, they have legal green plant out there now, right?
And
They
legal
do.
chocolate.
And legal chocolate.
Hence the reference to chocolate.
Oh,
Look who caught up. Look who caught up.
Cowboy got it now.
Where were you, Cowboy?
Apparently I was eating some chocolate.
I picked up on that in the first 10 seconds.
Nope, I had no idea. Get it now.
Don't mess with Texas because they're 2 minutes behind. Sorry.
And on that note,
Sorry.
we need another beer.
So one
I
of
had
the
no idea where that was
you guys
going.
you guys asked about like different styles of beer and different types of beer.
Or even-
I know that the Bigsby was one of the weird ones that I tried.
Yeah.
Jeremy was at a fest and he's like, "Oh, we have a white stout," and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And so Bigsby was one of the first white stouts that I've ever tried, and I think it's amazing. And I know that he brought one of the
I was actually saying,
more limited barrel aged white stouts today.
I was going to say this is a really killer introduction, so thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
you're welcome.
nice little segue.
Nice
into that.
segue.
Should we?
Get
should
the
we
You're
do
welcome.
this? Should we do this next?
Oh, should we or no?
Well, you were doing the intro, but I brought 3 bombers,
Oh, well,
and
we
you
can-
brought 1 bottle of
Well,
the
no.
vanilla chai. Maybe
You
we
only
should
brought
do this.
one bomber. The other two are
Ladies
going
and
home.
gentlemen, again, he's from Texas. No. I mean, I don't care. Like, we can do this.
Well, we can try the bottle first. What else are we having from New Holland?
That's a vanilla chai. It's
so
fantastic.
I have the Dragon's Milk
Yeah.
aged on vanilla chai. It's one of our reserves that we do.
It's fantastic.
I mean,
Yes,
if we
it's
must.
very nice. I
So, do you guys remember
thought that
Bricks
I would
last
force
year
it on you tonight.
when we did that show at Bricks?
Mhm.
And actually, they said, "Well, we got Dragon's Milk on." So I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, give me Dragon's Milk." And this is what they brought me, and I was like, "Oh my dear God,
There's
this is
something wrong.
this is the happiest
but I like it.
accident I've ever had in my life."
But maybe we should double fist. So
There you go.
we could do the barrel aged Bigsby first, and then to cap it off, we could do the
Yeah.
beer barrel bourbon
Perfect.
Oh.
in one hand and the vanilla chai.
I
in
like the
other,
way you think.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds like a great pairing. to
We're
me.
gonna.
So we'll need more cups.
Yep.
I think he's on it.
He's
Sam's
grabbing
on it.
Yeah, we'll just start opening these. Yeah.
But let's talk
Okay.
a little bit about these lines. I mean, especially that New Holland line. I think it's obviously one of your more successful, but it's such an incredible line, and everybody is always talking about it. And there's how many different of that Dragon's Milk?
The variants.
Yes.
We've done several. So and we're coming up with more and more each quarter. But so far we've done raspberry. We've done raspberry with lemon, vanilla chai, coffee chocolate. We've done a triple mash, and toasted chilies. And in a couple weeks we're going to be coming out with coconut and rum.
Coconut
really?
rum.
Coconut aged in rum barrels. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, we've got a lot of different ones, and they're all really nice and
Still really light.
very subtle flavors, but really, really nice. Not over the top.
So I opened the 3 bottels.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
They're all the same.
Oh.
yeah, they're all the same. Yeah.
Oh, the smell of that. The smell alone.
I didn't get any, but it's okay.
How did you not? There's like 17 bottles. I mean, there's only one. One's going home with Cowboy.
Cowboy has his own. So.
Oh, it's
All right. So in case you guys are a little confused, because that was kind of all over the map there for a couple minutes while we were getting things organized, we do have the Bigsby Barrel Aged in a glass in front of us, and we're all sipping it. I will be the first one to say I took a sip, I had an orgasm, and I'm still trying to recover.
I witnessed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
smell alone. I'm getting almost like a lemony smell out of it.
What's the full story on this? It's really nice.
Yeah, you like it? Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. So you don't get the story. It's just the beer.
That is intellectual property. So my
How about the rough?
apologies.
How about the rough story?
The rough story. It's a beer aged, bottled, opened after chilling.
What?
This is Jeremy, by the way.
It's a white stout base.
Yeah. So it's our white stout Bigsby. Basically it's a blonde, and then late, like post fermentation, we add cocoa nibs,
Yeah.
vanilla pods, and cold steep coffee.
Uh-huh.
And then so we took this and we put it in some rum barrels, and 3 rum barrels and 1 bourbon barrel, and then we threw in some chipotle peppers, some banana
That's
peppers.
what I'm
There you
getting.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has
We're
a
getting the
nice subtle
chipotle.
heat. It's very light.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and then
It's wonderful.
and like we tried it throughout the process, and it was like 4 or 5 months that it was aging, and then it's like, well, fuck it, let's throw in some cardamom. And I'm not a big fan of cardamom. Like the first beer that I had with cardamom was one of the Stone beers. I think it was the 10-10-10 vertical or 999 vertical. I don't recall. And I aged it for like 2 years, and I thought, it's actually pretty good. I don't mind it. So Simon added cardamom, and I think it's lovely. I think this could be a good Christmas beer, because it has a little bit of that heat, and that cardamom really brightens it up. It's like a spicy sweetness.
Jeremy, what kills me on this is that, you know how much I love Bigsby. Ron, I don't know if you've ever had a Bigsby before.
I think I've had the base beer at a beer festival.
And I think it's an incredible beer, and this to me is almost a completely separate.
It is.
It's really a separate beer.
Yeah.
This is nowhere near the same beer, yeah.
No, but it's incredible. I love the Bigsby, and I love this, but it's almost like a completely different beer. But I love that little kick of that spice in there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But I taste the Bigsby like right in the center. Like
Yeah.
I get it, and I get like the spice on the front, and then I taste Bigsby for a second, and then it just finishes with the rummish bourbon flavor. It's incredible to me. I mean, it jumped up to my my top list of favorite beers now. I mean, it's really that good.
And the
it's
heat
an
lingers,
amazing,
but it's very
and
subtle.
I like
what I
heat,
get.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, but it's good and it's not overpowering.
Absolutely tremendous complexity of flavors, but they're all balanced and just layering in with each other so nicely.
Right.
And then so many people screw up pepper beers, Chipotle beers, so just overdo them.
Yep.
And this one is just subtle. It's in the background. You almost have to sip it a couple times to make sure that's what you're getting, and it's like a perfect level.
You just want to drink
really
more
nice
of it.
beer.
Yeah.
Really nice beer. Yeah.
That's one of the things I really appreciate about Simon, the brewer, and having my first sales position being with a European brewery and my former boss, and now with Simon at Evil Czech being from Ireland, being about those balance of flavors and not that American palate of like, here's some hops, here's some heat, they just want to smack you in the face with flavor and be like, it's good because it kicks your ass, it's high in alcohol, and
so it's got to be good.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I'm really happy with it. I think it's a lovely beer.
Yeah, and I think that Chipotle is brilliant.
I think without it, the beer would be
using
lost.
something else, using a hotter pepper or something. But that spice works brilliantly in there.
Well, and the banana, it's sweet. I mean, the Caspasian heat, level on a banana pepper is much lower. Yeah. It's almost non-existent.
And that's
comparatively.
killer.
So for a barrel aged beer, this one still keeps its alcohol pretty low, 7%. I mean, it's respectable, but it's not like way up there on the scale like some bourbon barrel aged type beers are. So you could still have several of these in a night and be okay.
Deal. Can we make that happen?
It's not a bourbon, and it's not a a second fill or a third fill. It's a bourbon and rum barrels that have been used. I mean, they were used twice prior for the Stalin, our Russian Imperial Stout.
Okay.
That comes out in March. So they're pretty spent. There's not much residual. There's literally no residual alcohol in it.
You're just pulling off a little bit of flavor out.
Exactly.
There, a little bit
exactly. Yep. And then that's what we're using it for. The char level was high enough, probably like a level 3, level 4. Where it adds a little more color to it.
It's a little darker than regular Bigsby.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all part of the art and craft of barrel aging. Is knowing how to compare, knowing how to match the right beer with the right barrel, and how many runs it's been through, and that sort of thing. And with a lighter beer like this, it's a barrel that's already been run through once or twice. It's going to be better.
I just haven't had a lot of beers that are aged in rum barrels, and this is a whole new flavor profile for them, man. It's fantastic.
New Holland's got the Woodsman.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Really?
that was fantastic.
I haven't had it yet.
It just was like you were laying in a cedar bed. I thought it was a very wonderful beer. I loved it.
Yeah,
It's
so
different.
we
It was
talking
unique.
about barrels and usage. The Woodsman is actually aged in spent dragon smoke barrels.
Oh,
so,
really?
Dragon smoke kind of sucks most of the booze out,
Right.
and then Woodsman, you're left with such a nice like oaky,
It was just
flavor.
Yeah, it
So,
was like you were just kind of laying in a floor. I thought it was a very beautiful beer. It was light but yet complex.
Mm-hmm.
It had a very cool. I love that beer. And
It's only it's a barrel aged beer, only 4.5%. So it's
right.
It's
Wow.
sessionable. You get the best of both worlds, sessionable and boozy at the same time. What is happening over there?
He's just pouring.
No, it gets more spicy as you get to the bottom of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you want,
Now, see,
I don't know how much you have down there.
We're
Brendan.
empty.
All right.
So when we went on the first annual Blind Pigs road trip down to Nashville last year, Brendan and I had what they called a creeper beer at a local brewery in Gallatin. Now they use the Carolina Reaper pepper, which, as you guys know, is the hottest pepper in the world. So we were very cautious. We
Not
were
anymore.
like, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be like just liquid heat down my throat. But he cut it enough times that honestly, it was one of the really good pepper beers. It had some burn to it, but it still had that same sweet flavor to it, and it was a well balanced beer too. It was much hotter than this.
Oh, it
But-
had heat. It was packing heat.
Yeah, it
But
was.
It was good though. But yeah, it was very well balanced. But it was definitely packing heat. But I love that beer. But a lot of times you get where there's almost some of that pepper beers. You get too much of that green, peppery flavor in there that really turns you off.
And I think that's what Ron was talking about, where they just
Too much heat.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind heat if I got the flavor. It's kind of with my
Yeah.
food. If the heat's there but the flavor can back it up, I'm okay with it. But if it's just hot to be hot, that's totally different. So but that creeper beer, hot,
delicious.
but the flavor
Yeah.
was there, and
But
this has just that
might-
real subtle heat.
Might I interject too? Because I mean, from the conversations we had, you love like ghost pepper and stuff that
Oh, yeah.
really just blows your face off. So for me, like when I first started eating spicy food, because my mom cooked with no spices, no seasoning whatsoever, salt, pepper, never saw it. Like
Wow.
I had chili at her house on Sunday, and she's eating it, and she's like, "Oh, I threw too much chili powder in it." It's like, Mom, I put salt, pepper, and cheese, and a shit ton of like sriracha on it, and it's fantastic. Well done. And she's
Good
like,
job, Mom.
I don't know, it's too spicy for me. I mean, my mom's very sweet, but that being said, just the way you've trained your palate, like you're able to like decipher and determine those different flavors that, like, you could eat something that just burns your tongue off. You're like, I really like the garlic notes on that. I get a
Right.
hint of like nutty. It's kind of nutty, So I think that really goes into like training your palate.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I mean, there's a lot of people.
No,
sitting
you're
at this
right.
Table,
You're absolutely
like,
right.
Yeah.
I think that's why you have to keep trying stuff and,
Right.
and experience this. Like I said, and Jordan and I have both the same experiences with. I thought I hated IPA because I just wasn't used to drinking them, and my palate wasn't used to them at all.
And then he has Static Chipmunk.
And I had a Stag Chipmunk, and then the world was right again. And I have it every time I see it. But no, it's right. And I do love Static Chipmunk. But I find a lot of IPAs now that I like. But again, it's just kind of training your palate's different. You start, and it affects the way you eat and the way you drink. I mean, you
Right.
start trying different things.
Right.
Well, actually, Ron said on the last show, because I was talking to him, and I said, "Well, do you think IPAs have changed? Do you think they're becoming more well balanced, and people are, the hops and the malt are matching?" He goes, "No, I think it was you that was changing. I think your palate's actually changing to now like IPAs, whereas before you didn't." So,
Sure.
That was based on what you said.
right, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, and it made sense after you said it. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right."
Well, but
Because before hops were just hops, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's too much hop. I can't." Nope, Jordan doesn't do that much hop. But
Yeah,
now
but-
I've gotten used to it, and I
Well, and the more you drink, the more you start looking at the beer and seeing what hops are in it. I mean, that's stuff you never really thought about before.
And I'm at the point now where I can actually recognize some different,
Right.
not all of them, but some different
Well.
hops I can recognize in them. Whereas before, I would have just been like, "Ooh, hoppy beer," and I
Yeah,
would
but-
I would have just set it aside.
But at the same time,
It's-
there was that point in like 2008, 2009, 2010 where they were just trying to say, let's throw as much hop at as we possibly
Yeah.
can.
Bad period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was really bad. And everybody was like, "Oh, this is the next crave in IPA. Is this beer here?" No, that's not true. But I think a lot of breweries are now going to the well-balanced IPA. Let's make this a drinkable IPA.
Yeah.
Let's make this an enjoyable IPA.
Session
a session,
IPAs.
and that's a walkabout, a session, whatever you want to call it. Every brewery seems like they've got it now, but there's a lot of them out there doing it very, very well.
So what do you guys think the next craze is going to be? Or I mean, Do you see anything changing?
I always hope it's going to be a Saison, but I'm always wrong.
No. I absolutely agree with this. I think Saisons are making a comeback. I absolutely agree with you.
I say that every year.
Do you
and it
really?
Never happens.
A lot of people are making
Yeah.
saisons.
Yeah.
But when
No.
I was in Asheville, North Carolina, over the summer, and every brewery had a Saison, and they were really good. And like Saisons were the thing there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm a huge fan of the farmhouse style in general, so like the Saison and everything. I think it's a really good thing. I know you guys really didn't care for it too much at first, but I think
What's that?
The Saisons and everything.
I've always liked
Oh
saisons.
I
I thought neither one of you liked the Saisons at first.
I think that was him.
No, I've always liked. I think it's a great, easy drinking style
Oh,
of
yeah.
beer. That it's just
And
There-
Taxman does one
there's
of the
a lot
best.
there's a lot of confusion out there about saisons because they are farmhouse ales. So because of the name farmhouse ale, a lot of people think that means barnyardy, which starts to get into Brettanomyces and lambic sort of flavors. But
That wet
but
horse flavor,
but Brettanomyces and barnyard flavors is not synonymous with farmhouse ales. Farmhouse ales was just a cultural way of making beer on a farm. It had nothing to do with being wild, funky beers. But a lot of people don't know that, so they make saisons that are like lambics, and other people make saisons that are like saison dupont. So there's a wide variety of what people call saisons out there.
Yeah. I think one of the first ones that I fell in love with, and again, we talked about him earlier, Taxman. They did a Saison that I absolutely fell in love with. The story behind it, everything about it, I fell in love with.
And theirs is a more classic style.
It is,
you
yeah,
know,
it's really
DuPont style.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys make a Saison, either one of you?
We do.
Yeah.
Both of you do?
Yeah. I love Evil Czech Saison, actually. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well, now I have
yeah.
to try them.
And we have one called
no idea.
Monkey King.
And it's
we
a
had,
great saison.
We had the Monkey King.
When?
She brought the Monkey King last time. Yep. Sure did. We loved it.
I have.
And we
You
have
remember
the-
that?
No. That was a good night.
You need to start writing. You need a journal.
Yeah, the thing is,
So does Jordan, obviously.
most of the time I can't even read my own handwriting. So
But
That's
when,
why you use Untapped, right?
when we
Yeah.
did when we did the dinner at Arnie's, didn't I bring Foxcatcher?
Yes.
Because remember, Foxcatcher's last name was
Yeah.
Dupont.
Yeah.
Remember, so
Yep.
it was Saison Foxcatcher,
Yep.
Saison Dupont.
I had to cut
So
out
They,
that
they
night.
might have been after Cowboy lost a
Yeah.
tooth.
Oh, it was, yeah.
That was
How's
a fun
that working out? Is
That was a
it's
fun
good?
night. Yeah. That was a weird night.
How's your
for Cowboy.
chompers?
Oh, they're good now.
Yeah,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good. I'm happy.
Yeah, Cowboy bit into something that didn't agree with his teeth.
Not good.
He went from super happy to shithead in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah. Wow, this has made the circles.
I like your smile though. It's nice.
Thank you. They're all dentures now. I don't have to worry about shit like that.
That's why you whistle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice, all right?
Hey, so going back to saisons, what do you guys think of folks like Jester King and Bob Sylvester with Saint Somewhere intentionally skunking their beers, putting them in green glass so that they intentionally skunk them so that they taste more like a skunked Saison Dupont? What do you think of this? This is a new thing, apparently.
I haven't ventured into this world, so I've got no talk of it.
Well,
I heard of that.
Corona sells, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. There's always going to be a gimmick somewhere, and
Yeah.
like for me at heart, I'm a purist, you know, and but it boils down to whether you like the beer or not, and I will never discount the fact if someone likes a beer or they don't, and if I can rate their level of education or experience or appreciation within a style, like if it matters, like if someone is like in the middle of July going down kayaking and they're drinking a Guinness and they're like, oh, it's the best beer ever for kayaking. Yeah, more power to you. So I mean, beer is about appreciating the moment,
and it really is what you like.
But when it comes to purity of style, yeah, about that.
I am teaching about
Ce n'est pas si bon.
skunkiness in a different light after talking to Bob Sylvester and understanding what he's doing and understanding that some people have come to love skunked DuPont because it was in green bottles forever. There's a lot of hop, isohumolone in there. It skunks very readily. A lot of people drank that beer and they thought it was supposed to taste that way.
Now, when you say skunk, did it sour it?
No, not skunk. Skunk is skunk. Like
Just
drive down a country road and smell. So
normal
skunk.
Normal from
Heineken.
cold to hot. Tastes like shit.
No,
that's
pick up
oxidation.
Get a Grolsch.
That's oxidation.
Okay.
Skunk is a Heineken.
Yeah. Oh,
green bottle Heineken.
Not a fan. No.
Yeah. So, but some people have grown accustomed to that. They think certain saisons are supposed to taste that way if they've determined they like that character. We like acetic, vinegary character in Flanders Reds, and we like horse blanket in lambics. So who's to say that someone can't like skunk? I guess. So, my problem with it is, it's not what the brewer intended. It's not what the beer tasted like when they put it in the bottle. So it was post-packaging. It's a post-packaging fault, in my opinion. But regardless, if you like it and it floats your boat, I'm not going to tell you to not like it. Right?
Yeah.
So.
True. I mean, I'm not a huge sour person, but there are people out there who swear by sours. Pat on the show, one of the other pigs, he swears by sours. To me, sour isn't a beer. It's I don't want to say cocktail, but it's.
I think it was Pat, and Hunter. Neither one of them liked saisons as well. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pat didn't.
Yeah, but Pat loves the sour beer.
Yeah, and I'm not a big sour fan.
Yeah. But I love saisons and I hate sours. So
I do. I don't hate sours. I mean, I've had some really good sours. They're just not my first choice.
The only one I think I can say that I actually liked was that Tin Man, that apricot. Yeah.
Damascene. Damasene's good.
I couldn't tell you what the name of it was.
It's Damascene.
Jeremy said they had a. You said you had a sour program going.
Yeah, we do.
So what kind of stuff are you?
So does New Holland. I mean, they've been in it for a longer time than we have.
So what kind of stuff are you guys making?
Just we're using Brett and Lacto and Sac, and so we're just experimenting. Like we first did our Foxcatcher Saison. And then we took it and we bottled it, and we added like 12 different strains of Brett into each bottle. We actually submitted that to GABF, and it got pretty high marks, And
that's basically a Brett Saison is basically like an Orval.
Yes, and that's what we were doing.
Yeah, wonderful beers.
Oh yeah, an Orval is seems to they claim that. After 5 years of proper aging, that it's going to be at its perfect. Yeah, depending upon the palate.
Yeah,
did you say 5 years?
5 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
At the monastery, they sell it. You can get 3 versions at the monastery. You can get it fresh, which means very fresh, and the Brett has not taken hold at all. You can get it 6 months old. That's considered old. So at 6 months, the Brett's just barely there. I mean, it's just barely there as compared to what we're getting here in the States. And the Brett's like 2 years old, 2 years into it. 5 years, it's full blown Brett, juicy
oxidized
fruit. It's oxidized too. And then the third version at the monastery is the monk's version, which is a small, low alcohol version.
1.8%, 2.2.
But it's just funny that they consider an old version to be 6 months.
Wow.
Yep.
They're drinking it much fresher than most of the world is.
We're looking at 5 years.
Yeah. But at the same time, it says it's good for like 20 years. And it is. I've got some super old ones in my cellar that changes every single year. And
so that's what we did wrong, guys. When we soured our own beer when we were home brewing, we just needed to buy an oak barrel, throw it in there, and leave it in there for 5 years, and it would have been phenomenal in 5 years.
Yeah, that's what we did wrong.
There are some breweries. There's some breweries like in Colorado and Florida. I mean, all over the country that are buying like wine barrels and they're using them as like fermenters, as footers. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty, and they're selling their beers like wildfire, like you wouldn't believe. Like they only have like 400 bottles from each run, and they're selling them for $25 to $40 per bottle.
Yeah.
They made their money back, huh?
Well,
yeah. What was that evil Czech we had? That remember we were at the brewery and we were sitting there and we actually had to go outside to the taco truck to get that sour. It was like a sea salt sour.
Salt and sour.
Salt and sour.
Was that the name of it?
Like
I couldn't remember the name of it.
A goza.
It was a goza.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I couldn't. Had
Salt, sour, and a touch of coriander.
That was
That's a good one.
Yeah. I couldn't get over it.
Really?
Yeah. And for the rest of the night, I couldn't drink anything else because it took over the palate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking a quick question, Holly, what about your sour program? I'm not that familiar with New Holland sour
so
program.
we have a pretty small sour program. We do 4 sours per year, 1 per quarter. So we do an oak blended sour. It's really nice. It's called Blue Sunday. We do a white sour called Incorrigible. It's only 4.5%. It's really nice. Lactobacillus. And then Incorrigible Reserve, which is the same, that we add Michigan blueberries and blackberries to. It's divine. It is my favorite beer that we make.
That sounds really
Really?
It's divine.
Your favorite?
I love
Wow.
it. Yes. And then we do a beer called Mischievous, which we've done a different one. Last year we did 100% Brett, and this year we are doing it as a brown sour with Michigan peaches. So
Oh, wow.
that one will be out in just a couple of weeks.
And
so I'm
are
really
these
excited.
only available at the brewery?
No, we distribute them in Indiana too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
you
know that
do?
I've ever
Yep.
seen them. I don't know
They're
that I've
very,
ever seen them.
very, very small batch because, as you guys know, you have to keep sours kind of quarantined away from everything else. So we have our House of Funk, which is a very small area in the brewery that we do our sours. And so, yeah, very, very small batches. But you will see a couple barrels and some bombers around Indiana at, the stores that really do a lot of craft beer. You'll see
Right.
them.
Very cool.
I'll be keeping my eye out for those. Yeah, I haven't seen those out.
amazing. Yeah, they're delicious.
I haven't
love
seen them in
them.
Michigan either, which is,
Really?
yeah.
Well, the cool thing about our sours too is they're not crazy expensive. You'll see a lot of sours, from really big breweries that are pricey, for good causes. But ours, we don't price very high, and yeah, they're good for people who haven't maybe tried a sour before too, because they're not too intense.
Yeah, maybe not too funky.
Yeah, they're not too funky.
And that's something as people learn about sours, they realize that there are sours that can be made literally overnight.
Yes.
Simple kettle sours. There are sours that can be aged in a barrel for 6 months or so and be quite nice. And then there's the really complex Flanders and Lambic styles that may take 2 or 3 years
Oh yeah.
to really make. And those beers need to be more expensive. They are more expensive.
Oh,
They
yeah.
should be more expensive.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sure. If you're
You know.
if you're setting something on a shelf and having to hold on to it for that long of time, you
Yeah.
have to charge more.
Yeah, so people need to sort of understand the different types of sour beers there are out there and understand why some cost a lot of money and some are just regular
Yeah.
price.
And there are some breweries out there that do gouge. They'll make a
Yeah,
quick sour kettle,
unfortunately.
and then they'll, this is a $45 a
That's
bomber
not
type of
right.
beer.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
That is not
Yep.
right.
It
But
does.
you're right. It
yeah.
happens.
So
We're still very experimental,
Shame
and
on
we
them.
like to price it accordingly.
no, and that's great. That's great for the
Yeah.
community. If you're going to be a part of this craft beer community, you should. We understand that the craft, so we have no problem paying more for it. But we also don't want to be gouged either.
Yeah.
If it's a beer that truly should cost $40 a bottle, I don't have a problem paying for it. But if that $40 a bottle beer should cost 10, charge 10. Don't gouge that price up to 40 just because you feel like you can.
But there's also those beers out there that end up costing $300 a bottle.
I was just saying they had a big thing on and it's a gimmick too. The Dark Lord, which is Dark Lord, is an amazing beer, but is it worth $300 a bottle?
It's
or
very gimmicky.
What people would pay for it? I mean,
Is it though? I mean,
I couldn't do it. I mean, I've had it and I love it when it's given to me, but I can't justify paying for it. It's still a beer.
I've actually never had Dark Lord.
see, I haven't either.
It is delicious. I mean, it is. And
Every time I
is
go to
really
try to
good.
get tickets to go to Dark Lord, something either comes up or I didn't.
It always
get
rains
tickets.
on Dark Lord Day
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
yeah, it does.
It always rains.
But then you have
April.
you have more expense there. It's not just
April
it's not
showers.
just the bottle you're paying for the ticket, and you're just
Oh, yeah.
most people have to get hotel rooms but again, that gets kind of the experience if it's not raining, and it's fun because people are sharing beers there. So
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
day is fun. If it can be fun if they have good weather, but it's I don't know. There's
And
a lot
I
of gimmick behind it, which I don't like. But the beer itself is delicious. So I wish it was more affordable for people and more accessible, but for people to go and get.
But see, that's what I kind of like about it. I mean, it is gimmicky. I mean, there is a lot of nuance to it. I mean, it is a big bottle share program day. I mean, from what I understand, a lot of people go up there just specifically so they can get beer from other places that they don't normally get.
Yeah, it's a festival.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
bottle
fun.
share.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Dark Lord Day?
Yes.
I
You weren't
knew
even
it.
around.
I
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah.
What a shit show. For like oil.
For oil. You've had
Ron, you asked earlier about our barrel aging program. You know,
Yeah.
like we realized like our space. Like we purchased. We have almost 30 barrels now, and we're looking to acquire more, but we didn't have the space to house them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, properly.
Are you storing them, maturing them cold?
Both.
Good.
Yeah. We're doing a proper rotation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just really experimenting. Our head brewer Simon, he worked for Franciscan Well in Ireland, and he worked for a brewery where they did the exchange with Jameson and the Caskmates.
Oh.
So like he's knowledgeable of what's going on, and he has enough contacts from the East Coast to the West Coast. So he's just having a good time, and really he's putting out some good juice, that's for sure. Yeah, so it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be working for the brewery at the time that I am, because we're doing we got a barrel of Buffalo Trace that we were using from Hops and Fire down in Greenwood, and we put the Plato 14 in that. Just to see how the fruity flavors really play off with the barrel, and I think it was like they cleaned it out, and when they were dumping the water, like the char was coming off, so we know it was Gator, like it was a char level 4, so it's gonna be it's gonna be really nice. So we're I'll let you guys know when we release that down in. Hops and Fire is going to get
that place is actually supposed to be really cool. And
it's a great place. I'll be there tomorrow morning, dropping off a keg of Static Chipmunk that's fresh that we just kicked off yesterday.
So I'm really kicking myself because I've lived 10 minutes down the road from that place for quite a while.
Really?
And I'm just learning about this probably within the past month or two.
Yeah.
And it's been horrible, I guess.
This is Ron Smith, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
So let's talk about what we got sampling here in front of us right now.
Oh man, I tell you what,
Holly. Let's let her describe it first. She brought it,
So we have Beer Barrel Bourbon, which is if you don't know, New Holland has been distilling for about 10 years now.
Are we going to double fist?
And
I think we should.
And so Beer Barrel Bourbon is our most popular spirit. It is a bourbon that's aged in New American oak for 4 years that we finish off in dragon's milk barrels. So the bourbon barrels that held dragon's milk, we bathe this delicious bourbon in that for 90 days, and this is what you have. It's beautiful. It's a very, very it's a pretty sweet bourbon. Get a lot of caramel, biscuity notes, little bit of rye, spice, just beautiful flavor. It's a really good bourbon to make a really lovely old-fashioned with, or Manhattan. Very, very consumer friendly. People love it. The price is nice. It's right around the same price as Maker's Mark. So yeah,
and so much better.
It's just it's such a lovely bourbon.
I'm not gonna lie.
So much more flavor and character.
Than that is
Maker's
beautiful.
Mark.
I when I was at New Holland, I did do the gin. I didn't do the bourbon because I was like, it's a beer place. I can't make bourbon that great. And I didn't even try it. And now I'm kicking myself.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And I love that rye that comes through there. It makes it so much. It is sweet, but that rye gets that. It mixes it. Oh, man. That's really good.
I'm going to ask Brendan this question because I've just gotten into the whiskey scene and bourbon scene this year.
Wow.
Brendan, do you think I would like this one? Before I say anything.
I think you'll like it, but not as much as others because it's not as high in the you like more of a Scotch. You like those real
I
high
said,
peppery
this
notes.
is too
But-
sweet for.
But
Yeah,
actually,
I think there may be the sweetness, but that rye that comes through may carry
Yeah,
over.
it's,
and
to-
that's-
it's
what
sweet,
it
but
is.
it's
Yeah.
really spicy.
I
it is,
say
really
it is
spicy.
sweet. Yeah.
I love it.
So
I say
think
one
that
ball,
rye-
one ball will drop.
Oh,
Well, nothing's going to cause me to have the kind of orgasm that the barrel aged
Oh, they've already got
Bigsby
that.
did. But no, honestly, my honest opinion of this is I'm just getting into this scene, and I do like the spicy things. But as Ron
Good.
said, I love the spice in this.
Good,
This is
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I literally, so far, this may be, if not my favorite, my top 3
Wow.
that I've tried so far in the
Yeah.
whiskey bourbon family.
This
Well, thank
kills
you.
Maker's Mark. I'll tell you that much.
And
Yeah,
I will
Oh, yeah.
I will attest to it. Like the establishment that I was running up north, I was brought like one of the test batches of this when it was being developed, and I told him, I said, sign me up. And it was the actual like liquor rep from New Holland or spirits rep from New Holland that approached me on this because of the program that I was running, and I said I will hands down support this through and through.
And this beer barrel bourbon, it used to actually be a little bit hard to get because we just couldn't keep up
Yeah.
with production.
clearly, yeah.
It's our by far our most popular spirit, but now we have up production. We've up production of Dragon's Milk, and so in turn we've been able to up production of our bourbon, and so now this is our everyday spirit. This is something that you can get anytime and anywhere. And
I'm seeing it a lot more.
Can I
yeah.
get
Yeah.
this at liquor stores?
Yes, if you do have a liquor store that does not carry it, you can always request it. It's available. It's readily available now.
Because I'm literally going on Friday. When's my next day out? No, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm off. I'm
Yeah.
going tomorrow and I'm getting a bottle.
This
well,
is,
I bought this bottle right here at the Crown Liquors on 116th, and they have a very large row of it, in their
perfect.
bourbon area.
Nope, I'm going
so-
tomorrow. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
So you said Maker's Mark, so it's around $45.50 a bottle?
Oh no, it's I bought this bottle for
36.
$35.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, it's very.
That's a good price.
116th and Allisonville
Yeah.
also has this.
Yeah, it's a nice price, and it's great for the holidays. And like I said, it makes really great cocktails. I love making
it
old
has to,
fashions
yeah.
with this.
Yeah.
And
Screw the cocktail.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
beautiful.
beautiful, straight.
Yeah.
This is a sipper for me, and I don't sip whiskey. This is beautiful. I found
Perfect.
one.
Yeah.
What's the other
It's
one?
very
Finally.
smooth.
I won't
Tell
say
you,
the other one.
yeah, this is one of the things I'm going to kick myself over and over because I didn't try
think-
it when I was there because I was like,
Yeah.
a beer place
yeah.
can't make
Always,
bourbon.
if you're in New Holland, try our spirits.
Holy
they're
shit.
freaking great.
And I
They're
did. I love the
amazing.
gin,
Yeah.
but I was like, I like gin, but I stayed away from the bourbon. But now
I know Ryan enjoyed this. I mean, your brother.
Right.
Right. You know.
he
who-
should have. He better have. This is
Right.
amazing.
Well,
It's
when he would
delicious.
come into the place I ran, like this would be like his
Hmm.
default if he didn't want to get a scotch.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, Ron, you back on the show here. You took a quick break. What do you think of it? He's going for second, so
He hates it.
You caught me pouring more. It's very nice. It's very nice. As I said before, it's very sweet, but it's very spicy.
Yeah.
right.
And it's smooth.
I
It's
usually
it's well made. There's a lot of breweries getting into distilling right now, and
the face you made.
they're not.
was enough to say it all.
Many of both the breweries trying to get into distilling, as well as just the small craft distillers that are really struggling right now at trying to make a good, smooth product.
Yeah.
It's a huge art and a craft. It's not just pushing buttons.
Yeah.
It takes time. The bourbon industry's been around for hundreds of years, and the Scotch industry's
yeah.
been around for hundreds of years. This isn't stuff that they picked up overnight, and so it takes a while to dial it in. And New Holland has been at it for quite some time, and they've dialed it in.
But still, quite some time, but still young.
How
For
long-
making
how long have you been?
10 years.
10
I was
years,
gonna
I mean,
say,
that's
10 years.
They're a baby
years,
in the
yeah.
industry.
Has it been 10
and this
years?
is
But 10 years is
it's
a
a
long
beautiful
time.
product, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Cowboy, I don't know if you remember, we were up in northern Michigan at a place, and we're like, holy crap. We're up in, I don't know if we weren't on the island. We're up in northern Michigan, Traverse City, I believe, and we had a place that was making beer, and they had every spirit you could think of.
Oh.
And it was just like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
never mind.
And it was it was awful.
Yeah.
It really was bad.
There wasn't
the
a good
beers-
spirit in the house.
No, it was just like, why?
we tried
why
quite
you
a
doing
bit.
this?
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, we tried a
We
lot.
wanted to try to like it. Yeah.
But it was just like, why are you guys doing this? And so I think that turns me off sometimes of a brewery doing spirits. It's like, do what you do well. Goddamn, New Holland's doing them both well.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Because this is absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
This is going to be on my list of everyday buys. I mean,
Oh, it has to be. I mean, this is fantastic, and it scared me. And I'm not gonna lie, it scared me, especially when the first New Holland spirit I had was the hop infused.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for what it is, but it's really sweet forward up front,
Yeah.
and then that hop kind of ginny flavor in the back. I'm not a huge gin fan, so it really kind of scared me off for the rest of it, because that's what I kept thinking. The rest of it's going to taste like this. No, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is really, really solid. And you said the rest of your stuff, I've got to try it now. Really
Yeah.
excited.
This is smooth enough, too, for someone like Jordan who's not used to drinking a lot of the bourbons and whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still got that smooth with that spice, but that sweetness makes it nice and smooth.
I love the spice in it.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
delicious.
know
Yeah.
I love that spice. That's everything I found. That's why you said I'm a Scotch guy, is because apparently I love this spice in
You
the
like some of those
Scotches.
pepperier notes that you find a lot
Absolutely.
more in Scotch.
But I mean, you were saying, Holly, earlier that you love to make Manhattans out of it. It's almost a Manhattan already in a glass.
It is.
I mean,
yeah.
it's really solid.
Definitely.
I mean,
yeah.
you get that sweetness, you get that spiciness in the back end. You almost get this weird cherry in the middle, which I mean,
Yep.
I mean, it's a Manhattan in a glass already, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
All right, and I do have to ask, this glass of, it's like figs and raisins. What is this?
This Dragon's Milk. This is the vanilla chai.
That's the vanilla chai?
Yep. So this is our Dragon's Milk Reserve with vanilla and chai.
Okay.
And it is, it's, regular Dragon's Milk
Yeah.
that we aged with chai spices and some vanilla and.
I'm getting, I get almost like figs.
It's
Do you?
really,
or
really
almost
good.
a plum, but yeah, it's
It is
delicious.
Yeah.
It goes
Is
good.
this
ava- is
It
this
goes great with that
available?
bourbon.
Is this available locally?
It is available, yeah. We did a really small batch of it. We made a batch of it in the beginning of the year, and people loved it so much that we made another really small batch of it, and just about a month ago, and it just came out, and I think this is the best received reserve we've done. So
Rightfully so, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if you said that it kind of is like figs and raisins, it kind of, the flavor kind of changes once it opens up.
Yeah.
The spices really come out and the vanilla comes out, and it's a little bit sweeter than regular Dragon's Milk. While Dragon's Milk is kind of sweet, but it's nice, and
But it finishes with that really fresh herb,
yes.
character that's
Yeah.
just wonderful.
It's
I
weird
love it.
because
Something like you're sitting in the garden drinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Dragon's Milk is 11%, but when we age the reserves on these different variants, it's crazy. How smooth it can be and the flavors that really come out.
yeah.
So does it stay at about 11, or does it go up at all?
It's 11. Yeah,
It's 11.
This one
So
is
it's still
11.
okay.
Yeah.
See, the first time I had it, it was crazy cold, and it tasted like an iced chai tea. When I first had it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." Are you sure you brought me the right thing? Because I ordered just Dragon's Milk at Bricks,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
ice cold, and
Yeah.
it straight up tastes like an iced chai tea. I
Yeah.
fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I found small quantities later on, and I let it sit. I tried letting it sit, and the further it gets warmer, it
Yeah.
opens up. I mean,
Yep, it does.
Obviously, like anything else, it opens up. But
Yeah.
man,
This is one that really opens up
It
with
does.
warmth.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
completely different. I mean,
This is
yeah.
almost one you want to drink at room temperature.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't know if I can ever make it to that far. I mean, this is
I know.
this is the furthest I've let it go. And
Yeah.
We're gonna have to work on patience with you.
I
I was
have
going to say,
no
do you remember the
patience.
last conversation, Ron,
do. I
where
do.
Jordan's the only one with a bottle of Sanitarium still in his fridge because
Yes.
these two bought it, but they couldn't let it last that long. Christmas Day, my Sanitarium will probably open. That means I kept it for like 8 months.
No. Time out. He just knows Christmas Day will be the only time we can't come over.
Mine aged a week.
Why do I have to share my sanitarium just because I kept it to savor it?
It's like my ration of Girl Scout cookies.
I do have some. I got some clam leg porter barrel aged. That's aging right now.
There you go.
Probably this week. That'll be gone.
You got it this past weekend.
All right, guys. So we're pretty much out of time tonight, but I want to say again, thank you for Ron for coming on the show twice tonight.
It's been
Thank you,
awesome.
Ron.
You guys are fun.
And New Holland and Evil Czech, thank you guys very much for being here.
Time out. Thanks for making the trip down.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And bringing us such excellent choices in booze
Great
and beer
beers.
tonight.
Of
Great
course.
beers.
It's just a sad thing you don't have any left to take up north back.
Oh, I'm taking this back.
No, you're not. she laughs at me and puts a cork on it.
Yeah, she did. She corked that up on your ass.
Don't say anything.
How much is in that growler?
There's none.
That's not going back.
It's
There's really
gone.
none.
There's some.
No, it's going back. That's my growler.
Well, the growler's going back with you. I agree with you.
You can dump out the contents into your gullet if you'd like. But I'm just saying.
So I got to ask you guys before we close out. We'll just start over here. Jeremy, do you have any closing words tonight for the show?
No.
Anything else you got, man?
No, I mean, this is great. I mean, thanks for having us, and it's a pleasure to be down here and to be able to come and bring different beers and talk about them and just have like a serious but not serious conversation about beer, because that's what beer is about. You know, beer is it's a drink for every man, you know,
Right.
and it's a beer for there's a beer for every situation. And I'm glad that we can sit here and, you know, divulge about what scenario this beer may or may not be for. So, yeah, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Funeral or marriage,
Awesome.
these beers go great.
Amen.
Holly,
Cradle
what you
to
got,
grave.
hon?
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me. And, you know, there's so many breweries out there now. There's so many new ones opening. And so it's always nice to have somebody that appreciates it. And yeah, just look out for our next Dragon's Milk Reserve with coconut aged in rum barrels. I'm really excited about it. I haven't gotten to try it
We
yet.
all are.
and then our Hoptronics with Mosaic hops is going to be a year round, and you know, as much as we can keep up with production. So look out for
what's
that.
the date at Tappers on that?
That's going to be this week on Thursday.
Oh, that's this week,
yeah,
okay.
I'm really excited.
The show won't be out before then.
No, but
Oh, yeah, sorry.
we sure will push it out.
That was an incredible
Cade and
opening at
Griffith. Twin Cade in Griffith, Indiana on the 17th will be the next. But yeah, I'll be sure to get you guys the date so you can put them up on your Facebook and everything.
Yes,
for
because
our
we'd like
next
to be
events.
there as
Yeah.
well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
share that
thank you
stuff
so
on
much.
Indianapolis Craft Beer Deals.
Okay.
Absolutely.
we will.
You're on
Yeah.
that, right? I started that site just to
Oh, that
help.
was you that started that.
I did.
Okay, right on.
I started that site just to help Central Indiana craft
Yeah.
breweries get the message out about their specials and deals and new tappings, and it's just kind of taken a life of its own. It's got about 2,500 members now.
It does. I mean,
It's
it's kind
What
of
I am
crazy.
starting to see, Ron, though, is people
Crazy.
starting to, they post stuff that they're just drinking.
Oh no, I try
That's
to I
like-
try to kill that as fast
it's
as I
like,
can.
Man, all right. It's like this is supposed to
No,
be stuff
beer-
available
beer-
here for
beer,
us.
Beer porn.
Yes.
Beer porn gets killed.
Okay.
There-
I'm
there's-
starting that website later.
There's other sites out there for discussion and bashing breweries
Right.
and stuff like that. Not that doesn't happen on Indie
No,
Craft
I'm not
Beer
even
Deals.
talking about that. I'm just talking people saying, "Hey, I got this great beer, but they didn't even get it here. I got this great beer when I was over."
Yeah,
No, this is about
I-
getting it
I
here
try to kill those
where you can find it
posts
here. Yeah,
and
but it's a
explain
great
that
site.
that's not what it's
yeah.
for.
Yeah.
So, do you have
Absolutely.
anything else, Ron? I didn't get to turn it over to you yet.
No, just thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Evil Czech and New Holland for bringing such great beers. And don't say anything because I'm judging at Fobab this weekend. And boy, I hope some of the beers we had tonight
Our Chicago rep's going to be
find.
there. He'll
I hope they
you.
find their way to the top.
Not gonna do it.
And Jeremy, you nail on the head. I mean, this is all about having fun, and we're serious about the beer. I mean, we love it,
Absolutely.
but we want to have fun doing it. We want our listeners to have fun
And I
listening
appreciate
to us doing it.
I
mean,
appreciate a good opinion, but you know, when it boils down to it, do you like the beer or not? Like New Holland says, stop and taste.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you know, we might say sometimes for beer to be good, it has to be evil, and you know, I mean, yeah, maybe not. Like, just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about drinking with friends and having fun. And
Yeah.
Amen.
No truer words have ever been said.
All right. Thanks,
Enjoy
guys.
it.
Thank you.